Okay, after talking about 10-15 minutes, some random stuff, let's finally talk about this. Hello, guys, welcome to Indian Society. I'm one of Prince, joined by Manoj, Matthew, and the CW is on sale.
Yes.
And
It's 100 rupees off. It's in Amazon Prime sale.
eBay, everywhere it's available.
Yeah, Republic Day sale. Special offer.
Cyber Monday. But Manoj want to shed light on it.
The CW, the network is on sale. So the CW is like a joint venture between Warner Brothers and CBS. That's what CW. That's how it comes. So
really?
Basically a venture of Viacom, like Paramount. That's how they. So it was like a joint venture between them. So apparently they have put the network on for sale. They don't want to continue on with the network, with the operations of the network, and they already have some interesting parties lined up. It's very surprising because no one really expected this to happen.
Yeah.
Because if you look at notwithstanding the quality of the shows, like people go on a rampage like no this is good, it's amazing, nothing like that, but the shows have been popular like on streaming everywhere. Like these are very well known shows that they have put up. Like everyone, like a lot of the youth audience is very much aware of these shows, and in fact CW was started way back in 2006 targeting the youth audience. That's how they started CW, but not 2006. I don't really remember when it was started, but the CW apparently has not been profitable since 2006. So that's a big telling factor on probably why it took them so many years.
Yeah.
To it probably is a business strategy problem somewhere over there. But the CW was never really part of the big American networks, like where you have ABC, you have NBC, and they were never really part, or even Fox. They were never really part of those big league studios. They were always a little bit smaller and stuff like that. Even in terms of their viewership, it kind of reflects on that. But the shows are very popular, and they actually fetched very good prices in streaming deals, whether it's The Flash or Riverdale. Like these shows really got really good streaming deals, and that's why they're really popular across the world. So, but unfortunately now the CW is probably bidding farewell, so we might not see the network as we know it now. But yeah, that's the story behind the CW.
And I think the DC shows have been the most popular ones among.
Like they started with Supernatural, which was a big popular show, like for them, like at least in the initial years. Even though I think that was a CBS, I don't really remember who produced that. But then they were focusing on they had the last few seasons of Smallville also had in CW. I think before that it was called WBTV, something like that. I don't really know it as well. But the last few seasons of Smallville also had, I think, in the same network. And then after that Arrow came in, and then the whole DCTV universe came in. So I think in terms of shows, it definitely had success because these shows, whatever you talk about it, like they managed to like create their own fan base. They were able to like target their demographics. So I think in terms of the shows, they did a pretty good job. But these shows were also very heavily pirated. So it probably gives an indication of how popular these shows were.
But that's also right. They have resonated so much that people like. I think if a show is being pirated, that means it has a big fan base or a big impact on people that they want to watch it anyway. So I think that says a lot about that. But like this is not at all about I think the quality of the shows, but it's like I don't know what will happen with the DC shows.
Many ways. See now. If you look at Warner Brothers and CBS, right? So Warner Brothers, they have HBO Max now. So they are like, people are venturing, like all companies, especially companies like this, they're venturing into more streaming. They know that streaming is the future. They're focusing more on that. Even I think CBS has their own streaming
Even
platform.
CW has this like CW Seed, right?
CWC,
after the shows aired, they put it on the website, but it's not available outside America. So,
and it's not really that much of a big deal for the company, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's not like HBO Max. Like for them, HBO Max is probably the future, even though it's not doing very well. But you get my gist, right? Like they're focusing more. So I think that's probably why they're not very much interested in probably running a cable TV network like this. Like a CW. It makes business sense. Like I see many people calling like, oh, end of the woke shit. They might just continue to HBO Max, man. Like you might see the Flash again running, season 10 HBO Max.
But do you think? But I think that will change a lot Like I know,
definitely.
I think recently this guy I'm into, I don't know the channel name, but he was at 26 subscribers and he posted a video about why the Flash shows don't work, the DC shows don't work, and now he is at, I think the last I checked when I watched the video, he was at 16k subscribers. So it did really well for him. So all the best to him. But that was video he talked about.
And we're not name dropping you.
No, I forgot the name. It was like something like I became a geek, something like that.
Oh, okay,
I'm a nerd. I like some wordplay kind of a thing, but I'll just put it after the video. But you know, in that he talked about that woke thing also, but it's not. I don't think it's the wokeness of it. It's just how terribly it's done. You know, there are other like have you seen Watchmen, the series? That series is outstanding. You know, it is also, you can say it's woke, but it's the way that you tell that story. You know, the storytelling impact of that is so great. And like, you know, have you seen that scene of
there are many
that Supergirl scene, right? With the alien trying to hit her and she's like not without consent. Like, oh man, like
the Flash had it. The Flash forgets that in convenient times. The consent thing.
Yeah.
Taking away Reverse Flash's power, we don't need his consent.
And you know, it's like if you're like saying something on that aspect, that you have to follow it on. You know, it's not like, the writers change, so we don't care. You know, it's like just like that.
True.
And I think he also said in that video that, you know, that when you consider it, they have to write around 2,600 pages of script.
It is.
You know, for just one show. And that's just horrible. Of course, the writing will go down.
Forget the writing. Think about the show. Like, they have to write these scripts as quickly as possible. Then they have to shoot it. They have only 8 days to shoot one episode. Then they have to give it to the VFX team who will be like, shit, what are you guys doing? Like, and then we have to see all these digital doubles. You know, it's like, you know, playing like a video game. It goes to a video game cutscene in the middle of a scene. Like, you have to go through all that because they have to shoot 20 plus episodes so that it covers that, you know, traditional broadcasting schedule that they have.
And that's just not viable today, right?
It's not.
In today's world,
see, when Arrow started way back in the day, it seemed all right. Even then Netflix was around, but still it seemed viable. Like, okay, you know, and Arrow was not a VFX heavy show. You know, it was very stunt oriented. Not that it's easy. It's much harder for the stunt crew and everything, but it made a little bit more sense then. But now seeing where they have actually gone, and full kudos to them to actually, you know, even think about achieving these heights. I think it's commendable.
On a traditional television where they have to follow rules. There are rules they have to follow. And I think that when you break apart from that, I think that's why Superman Lois is such a good show. Because it's on HBO Max and they have creative liberty and they don't have to think about anything else.
And they have the money. Like,
yeah. And I think, and you know, that's why sometimes I actually feel that these shows are worse because of these network requirements.
Oh, definitely.
I actually feel like, I think there is a clause that you have to add a member of each representation in the show every season.
I think so.
I feel like, because there's no other way, no other justification of adding why each show, by the time it's in the 5th or 6th season, they have like so many characters.
And why do we have a Punjabi Godspeed? Yeah. So it's all coming.
I actually feel there is a clause.
We didn't have an Indian. Grab him.
You know, I actually feel that, you know, I don't know if it's out in public, is the contracts are, you know, but I feel that that's a requirement. Oh, no, you have to add, you know, someone. Because there's no other justification. Like, you have seen every DC show go through this and you cannot make the same mistake again. That's just...
It feels like they're ticking boxes rather than writing compelling stories.
And I think that's one of the reasons, because of the network, you know, and I think...
And even the cast. Like, forget this, like, each, you know, community. Forget that. Like, even the cast gets so overblown, and then you have cast members just standing way back. Yeah. Like, they are apparently the main star, but they're just standing without any lines. And they just like contribute one. Oh, let's think about something bad. Let's think about something very cool.
And there are these union rules also, right? That if even for 1 second, or if even use their audio in a
true
in an episode, you have to pay them the full thing, and you know, and that's also because scheduling conflicts happen because of that. Like, I cannot pay a character, you know, like whole amount just for a 5-second scene. So let's cut him out, you know. And
on top of that, COVID has come, so it's made their jobs a really hard job, even harder for you know, all the creatives involved in the show. So I think it's the era of these kind of shows are definitely going away. And I think once the CW also, like, you know, we don't really know the future of these shows are very unclear on what will happen with the Flash, what will happen with. I think Supergirl, everything got concluded, so it's fine. But I think they have some other shows also in development, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But I think we all sense that they were definitely going to shift towards HBO Max because it made more sense. And I think maybe we might get a conclusion season from HBO Max for The Flash. I think that'll be great. Like, maybe a 10 episode arc concluding the show.
If they're selling it right, then doesn't it means that whoever acquires it will have the rights?
No. I think they only have the. See, it was a CW was a collaboration between Warner Brothers and CBS, and that's why they could use Warner Brothers characters. But I don't think once they sell it, the characters also will be going. I think the characters will still stay with WB. Even because the character rights is different from they're not selling the character rights, right?
But then who will buy it? Like if you're not getting the DC shows, which are the most popular and the profitable ones among everything else, then
I'm not very sure about that. But because I know, like because when Marvel sold Spider-Man, they sold its theatrical rights along with this thing, but they didn't sell their TV rights. Like way back in the day. That's why Marvel can still make Spider-Man TV shows, but they can't make the movies without Sony's whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not very sure about. I believe I don't think Warner Bros. Will let the IP just go like that, like to some random thing. Because if they are not involved, or they might work out some big deal where they are actually involved. But I don't know, man. It's kind of a crazy thing.
I don't know what will happen. But like it can also be someone that too, and someone can maybe whoever buys it kind of makes it like, okay, I don't care about all this shit, do whatever you want to do, like no PG-13 rating, nothing like
no, I think there are TV guidelines also.
No, but like I think HBO shows come on HBO, right? Like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but HBO is different. It's a subscription service, right?
No,
like not HBO
cable?
Max. Even HBO.
No, HBO is not a cable channel.
I don't believe so. I think even that was a subscription kind of thing. That's what
because
I believe.
We had HBO right in India.
We had HBO in India.
Now they have stopped
now. They used to show Game of Thrones, I think, late night. I still remember like when.
But even Westworld and whatever they shows, they were used to come. Now it's of course HBO, like they are on streaming. But before that, I think it just come on TV.
I read somewhere that HBO was like before Netflix when all streaming, HBO was like that in between, like where they were a bit of cable and a bit of subscription service also.
So cable is basically that you pay something and you get this amount of channels. Then the Tata Sky came in, kind of that, you have to buy each channel, like subscription for each channel, right?
The problem is that in America it's different. Like the whole package deal, we have no clue on how it works.
But okay, whatever. Talking about DC shows, do you think...
We might be going very wrong.
Yeah.
I think no one will watch this.
But talking about the DC shows, what do you think? Your personal things, what do you think is the future? Because I think they said the next season... So this report came out when, I think the employees were sent a note by the CEO. And he said that there are some strategic planning going on.
So basically, you guys are fired.
Yeah, so that's how it came out that, But they said that the next season they'll continue however it's going. So maybe next season means...
Flash is already halfway through, right?
Yeah, so next season means, I think till May when all the shows come to an end. Till then, it's all good. Nothing, no problem. But
see, I think season 8,
that, there's no clarity.
I'll speak for Flash because that's the show which I know. And which doesn't have any HBO Max backing, right? So I think till May, Flash will continue. Season 8, we'll get a lot of episodes. Most probably struggle, but in quality. But I think let's stay optimistic. They started well. So season 8 will happen. And then I think we might get a season 9 in HBO Max. That'll be the conclusion season for the Flash. Considering the Flash movie is coming out, and WB sometimes acts very weirdly about characters being used in TV and movies. Like we can't have the same version being used in both the places. Maybe this season they might force the writers to make it the last season.
No, I don't think so. Because if that was the case, it would have been out by now. If they were,
you will see in January. In January, the epic conclusion.
This is January.
Oh shit. No. In March you'll see like the epic conclusion to the 8-year run.
No. I think that's their most successful show, so I don't think they'll just gonna end it like that.
And the streaming deals also will be set in place, right? So Netflix probably has the streaming deals for the next season already. So maybe not. Have they officially renewed Flash for the next season? Season 9 have they officially renewed it?
No, not renewed, but it's not. They have not even called it the last season, so.
I mean, it'll be missed up. I think I really like what I said in the starting. Like, they might get an HBO Max deal and they might show Flash's last season there. I think that might happen because I think it's
because
such
I think
easy
they have
way
been
of getting.
they have been talking about that they can take Flash to season 10.
Oh.
So there have been like talks that if the show continues, if the thing is the only condition was Grant Gustin, because his contract hadn't like renewed,
like
and
extended. Yeah.
So I think for season 8 is the last. So until he renews it, the show cannot, of course, go forward. So if he's okay, the show will go till season 10. If he's not, maybe not, or maybe he renewed it. I don't know.
I just realized something because the HBO Max thing might not work if Netflix still has the streaming deals.
I don't think Netflix has it now.
Okay,
it's over.
Prime Video has it in India
because in India Prime Video has it. The Flash.
So I think, for me, like if HBO Max is expanding all over the world, this could be like my golden goose kind of, because I know that this has like audience all around the world. I might use the final season to get some subscribers, but if the streaming deal is not with me, then it doesn't make sense, right, for me to do it in HBO Max. So I don't know now. Maybe they might just work out a deal where the new buyers of CW will do it. It's
just a mess. I'm getting a headache now. I don't know what people at like CW and all are doing, and it's just and because also we were talking about like Superman is still not out in India officially. Like all the the Flash, the Legends. I don't know about the Batwoman, but those shows are on Amazon Prime available, but nothing. And I think HBO Max like the Harry Potter special came on Amazon. Yeah, so I have no idea how those things like.
So I was just looking at the IGN article to see if I missed something. I still don't see anything about the future of the DC shows.
Yeah.
Like written something concretely. It's just very vague on the future. So it's all just us discussing on different strategies which we don't even know.
We're getting a call after this video like, guys, we need you.
Or a doorbell.
You know.
But so guys, I'll say this. If the international streaming rights are not sold for the next season of Flash, and it's ending now with this season, I think a very strong point would be to make a 10 episode thing in HBO Max and then just ship it and launch your streaming service in India, basically, which is like the potential of so many subscribers that you have, and
HBO originals are with Disney Plus Hotstar. HBO Max shows are with Amazon.
Yeah.
DC movies are also on Prime.
And then the weird DC movies are on Netflix also.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But anyways, guys, that's it from us. We have rambled forever now. It's just too long about nothing. We make no sense in the video. But if you're still watching, like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. Keep geeking out.
Bye.